got mail. Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next hour or so, along with Gal.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. And Katie's here.
Good morning.
Morning. And Nick is here.
Also, good morning.
Our Spence is busy this morning, so he's not going to be here. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. So the 4th came and gone. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah, it's hot.
It was
Right.
hot.
It was very hard to have a good time, but also stay safe and healthy and not pass out in the heat.
Yep. I took the Jeep about 10:30 and drove downtown.
Yeah.
And I went around the Capitol, and I didn't even stop. And I came right back home. I said, "No, I'm not staying outside in
Yeah,
this
I don't
kind
blame
of
you.
weather."
Yeah, if I wasn't in the water, then I was inside because it's just
No,
brutal.
it was, and yesterday it was.
Yeah.
It's July in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
I just
part of the gig.
we just got fooled though because on Monday and Tuesday it was like in the 70s. It was so
Mhm.
nice, that cold front, and then it jumped up 30 degrees hotter, boiling a lot.
But it's okay. It's over.
Yeah.
So, what's sticking in your mind that you want to talk about to open up with? Technology-wise, that is. Yeah, nothing, huh?
You tell us.
Yeah, no
Okay.
thoughts.
Well,
Nothing
It-
happened
it's fine.
My AC unit
as
has
far
been
as
doing
I'm
good.
concerned.
That's technology.
What?
I said my AC unit has been doing really well. That's
Okay, good.
technology. The extra one I bought for the bedroom. It's got to work out this weekend.
So, we have Nick here. And the
It's
reason
an honor and pleasure to be with you.
the reason I'm saying it is, Nick is busy with political stuff, election
Good.
stuff.
Presidential
this-
year, very very busy next couple months. Absolutely.
So, this story goes, it's a political tale as old as time. Put up a campaign poster in your yard and thieves come to snatch it.
Sure.
But according to the Wall Street Journal, those fed up with front lawn looting are embracing a modern solution. Apple's geo-tracking AirTag devices are helping owners find their signs, and
Good.
sometimes even the people who stole them.
Yeah, people are stupid enough to. We've had this issue before here. People
First
put
of
it in
all,
they put them in the
we're
garage
talking
because they're stupid.
hold on. Yeah, you're talking about people who are stealing political signs.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the smartest people in the world.
No,
Now,
this is
Nick, you
true.
can continue.
That's good. You're right. Look at the source. Yeah, yes. I didn't think about that. Good point.
It's a real problem. Well, and the other thing, like, so obviously you've got Trump and Biden, right? Those guys mass produce like hundreds of millions of political signs. Like they lose a couple signs, not really the big deal. But when you go to like local candidates, school board, county commission, city council, those are much smaller campaigns. And these like total, these guys raise just a couple tens of thousands, $40,000 for a campaign, which, obviously is not a small sum of money, but it's not 300-400 million dollars that some of these guys are pulling down in a 60 or 90-day period. When those signs are stolen, that's a big issue for them because they don't have the money to go out and purchase 150 more signs. They're pretty, like, they're cheap in the grand scheme of things, but they're not very cheap to replace. And it's not like you can go down to your local Staples and get signs printed for 9 cents a piece. That's something that you order online. They take a while to come. So it's an interesting the political sign thing is always an interesting one, especially with local races and local candidates.
Yeah, yeah. But
I would
I'm
on the technological side of things, the
Mhm.
AirTags,
Yeah.
right? Those are Apple, and they're designed for Apple devices to connect to.
Yep.
But interestingly enough, iPhone and Android, right? Uh, I got a notification that an AirTag. I'm guessing some of my friends that came over had an AirTag on their keychain or something. That an AirTag was around, and that I can start using it if I pair it, right? So it seems like
Hmm.
I haven't read on it yet, but it seems like Google can work has built-in support for AirTags in their OS, and so it's no longer just an Apple thing. So that's an interesting side of things. First of all, it expands the network of tracking, right, to not just iOS devices.
Right.
And plus, anybody can use an AirTag now, right? So interesting.
One of the things I know we've talked about in the past, but for folks that don't know the AirTags, for a long time there's been these little Bluetooth devices that you can get. They've been out for what, a decade, if not more at this point. The
Yeah.
issue with them is they connect to the original ones. They connect to one device and one device only. So if I go to Raleigh and I'm hanging out at Gall's house and I drop something in his couch, and then drive back to Wilmington, obviously I'm not in Bluetooth range of his device, of the device that I accidentally left at his house. So those original devices were only really good within finding things at your office, at your house, at your places that you were frequently visiting that you would be in Bluetooth range for. The cool thing about the AirTag, and I don't know what technology it is, I assume it's some variant
BLE.
of Bluetooth,
Yeah. Bluetooth low energy.
something like that. It connects to it automatic. So if you're walking through a mall, your phone is probably connecting to dozens of AirTags. You're not doing anything. You're not being asked to do anything about it. The AirTag is connecting to your phone privately, and then privately that data is being sent back to Apple's cloud infrastructure or Find My iPhone so that it can be tracked. So even if I do lose something up in Raleigh, as long as somebody with an iPhone gets near the device, it will ping and tag as the location. That's what makes the AirTags really cool is you can actually lose your device and still get it. It's almost like a GPS tracker that would connect home to a GPS satellite. In this case, it just connects to the hundreds of millions of iPhones that exist in the US and around the world, and then uses that to connect to the Apple infrastructure.
It's a GPS tracker by proxy, basically. But
It's exactly.
yeah, the thing is, and here's what I'm interested in. If Google is supporting this, right? Apple didn't come up with this. This started so after the first generation of these finders, of keychain finders with Bluetooth, that you will press something and they'll beep or something, and you'll be able to find them around the house. There were a bunch of competitors. At least a couple of them started in Kickstarter, right? Which did what today Apple AirTags do, right? Tracker was one of them. There was another one which I
Kyle?
don't recall, but I used them. I used the other one at first, and I'm interested to know if the AirTag ecosystem, because all that connection that you described, all it does is say, I'm around, you can find me, basically. If you have a Bluetooth connected, a BLE connected, I don't know, a blood pressure monitor, or a scale that tracks your health, right? And sends BLE information. it does it in the same way. There's no need for pairing. There's no pairing protocol like with a headset where uh, that actually requires some security to pass information back and forth. All it does here, it says, this is who I am, this is my ID. If you need some information from me and you know what my codes are, you can ask me, basically, right? That's what it does. And so um,
And what my codes are, that's not a password, sort of? Which
well,
codes?
no, it's like what are the operations that I know?
Oh, okay, this
Right.
codes.
So
Okay. Yeah.
if you want me to blip, right, I might be able to blip.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Okay. Keep
but you need to
going.
know how you need to know what type of device I am. So the application that you'll install, right, and communicates that will identify this. Okay, this is in my catalog of devices that I know how to talk with. This is the command, I'll send it, something like that. So all of the smarts is away from the device, and that's why a battery on it can last for a very, very long time, even though it's a very, very small battery. So yeah, AirTags are a great idea as long as they can actually be shared. And for now, and up until recently, the way I understood it, it was only an Apple thing. Currently, it's not any longer. Don't take my word for it. Check it out. But I've discovered that it might be a possibility. And so now, if I see, I don't know, if Nick has a sale on AirTags, then I'm finally interested, right? Because maybe I can use it. So
Stay tuned to specials in a couple minutes. There may or may not already be one in there.
yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah, that was interesting.
Well,
So
and the thing to note, the only reason that the Apple AirTag works the way that it does is because of the iOS infrastructure. If there were only 10,000 iPhones in the United States,
Mm.
the device would be pretty damn
Right.
useless. But because there's literally hundreds of millions of them, you probably can't drive or walk from area A to B without being in the range of an iPhone somewhere. Um, the
Right, and
one of the
now
cool
add
things
Androids to that.
now
New
you add
Androids.
Androids to that, you're talking about,
Yeah,
a half a billion devices
exactly.
that can do this. And one of the cool things is at airports, if you have a checked bag, um, because most of the employees, not all of them, but most of the employees that are handling baggage claim have iPhones sitting in their pockets. You can literally watch your bag go from the plane into whatever back conveyor belt system before it gets shot out at the little carousel, because there's so many iPhones between those two different points. Even the guys that are simply just taking it off the plane, loading it onto the little trolley, and then driving it over to the terminal. So it's really, really cool to watch the tracking and real time.
Hmm.
I just got one a couple weeks ago. I haven't traveled yet, but it's in Find My iPhone as a device similar to your Apple Watch or your AirPods, and yeah, or excuse me, it's considered an item, and it says that it's home. It says that it's with me. It plays a little sound. I don't know if you could hear that,
No.
but it plays a little sound. So if you do lose something inside, you can do that, which is pretty cool.
Mm. Interesting. And how
Yeah.
much are they still like around $20?
Yeah, they're about 25
Sometimes
bucks.
less.
I've got specials here in a
Okay.
few minutes, and they're actually on sale over at Best Buy. So
Huh.
we'll talk about it in a
All
minute.
right. All right. A lot of people have Netflix. So Netflix has started booting subscribers off its cheapest ad-free subscription tier, starting with the UK and Canada, and more countries inevitably to follow. This is coming from Mac Rumors. The streaming giant has reportedly begun notifying users via on-screen messages about the last day they can access the service unless they upgrade.
Nice.
One Reddit user shared a notification they had received from the Netflix app saying, "Your last day to watch Netflix is July 13th. Choose a new plan to keep watching." Customers are, and this is not for plan that you don't pay for. You pay for this. Customers are being prompted to instead choose the cheaper standard with ads or the more expensive standard or premium 4K plan.
I
So
wonder how many will actually
I think
not renew.
I don't
So
think
the
many.
good
Look, we thought that people.
there's one good thing about this, right?
Yeah,
It's not an opt out. It's an
yeah,
opt in. You
yeah,
need to actually physically go
and
and
do
open the
something.
page and choose one or the other. It's not going to be automatic.
Right.
So kudos to them, right? They want more money, I get it. But at least they're not just automatically upgrading everyone, even if it's the cheaper one, right? They're not automatic. I guess they can't because to the cheaper one, they need your consent to track your watching habits in order to serve you ads, right? So they can't do it legally and they won't charge more. I don't know if they can't do that legally. They probably can, but kudos for them for not doing that, right? I wonder how their stockholders are going to react when they're going to see a mass reduction in viewers. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's good question.
Yep.
Good question. All right. Microsoft conducted another round of layoffs past week, in the latest workforce reduction implemented by the Richmond tech giant. So Microsoft is laying off a lot more people.
Well, think about it this way.
Mm,
One thing they've been pushing really, really hard in the past 6 months
yeah.
is AI,
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if they are not doing that,
Yeah. And talk about Microsoft. Who sent Spence sent that in our signal about a Windows 11 government
no, I
edition.
think it was a friend of ours, Sarid.
Oh, Sarid, that's right. Yeah, Sarid did that.
I've not read through the
Interesting.
little print yet. Interesting, maybe. I don't know. I do know from the company I work for. So when we have there's a federal version, right, of the product that we have that adheres to the restrictions that are specific to the federal government.
Okay.
So and it's I do not know about all of the difference. I no longer work with the actual product. So um so I'm not very versed in there, but
Hmm.
yeah, the encryption keys and everything needs to be signed in a specific way. There's a lot of requirements. Information must not be leaked out in a certain way. So yeah, theoretically, it sounds like a very, very interesting product. I wonder though if it'll be limited in its functionality in any way, right? Its ability to install something that
I,
isn't signed, for example.
I don't know, but what you're talking about
Sounds like a good thing.
your product,
Yeah.
I think every piece of software should adhere to these,
I-
not just the
we all agree
government.
about that, right? But it seems like the federal government has found a way of forcing software providers to do that, even Microsoft. So yeah, if I can get those versions of the product, hell yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then knowing the federal government and knowing how capitalism works in the US, right? It might be a federal offense of having a copy of that software without
on your
approval, right?
Interesting.
It can get there as well. You don't know. So
yeah.
What it has to do, a lot of it has to do with like data retention and things like that. If you're
Yeah.
selling because of sunshine laws and various privacy things, if you're Microsoft selling Office 365 to the federal government, which they do, the retention rules for emails and the way in which they have to be stored to comply with these laws are very different. Plus, like for example, with your regular Google account, you can go to any website and do sign in with Google and right you don't create an account on that site, it authenticates through your
Mhm.
Gmail. All of that stuff obviously is turned off when you're using a enterprise government version of those softwares. I worked a lot when I was in the managed service provider business. We Our company was based in Fayetteville, so we interacted with a lot of companies that were working closely with Fort Bragg, the military base up in the Fayetteville area. And there was just a lot of different things that we had to jump through for those customers that contracted with the military. So the product itself wasn't all that different. It was just a lot more locked down, and I'm sure on the back end, some of the retention things were just a lot different than your traditional gmail.com account or whatever it might be.
Yeah, and there was also talking about Microsoft and mail and authentication. There's something I was reading that with Outlook.com now you cannot use other uh, programs to go and get your Outlook.com other than Outlook at this point because they are requiring now what they call modern authentication, which none of the other programs are doing, but they said that they probably will.
Google did this a while ago. You no longer or like mail. What mail thing do we use? EM client.
Yeah.
When you log into a Gmail account through
Mhm.
EM client, you don't put in an SMTP and port and all that stuff. Well, you can, but you click add account, click Gmail, and then it pops up the little Gmail login window, like you would see if you were going there
Oh.
to log in for the first time. That deals with because two-factor authentication. This was a big
Mhm.
issue, as old applications don't support two-factor, so that many of these services, and I'm sure Outlook has the same thing, they created what is called an app password or something that is a much longer password. It could be 40 characters that you won't ever crack and you don't generate, or that is automatically generated, that you can put into these services like SMTP relay or something like that. Um that makes sense. I think it's a good move
Now
because
this is
it
only
bypasses the some of the security concerns that that mail has, like not enabling two-factor authentication because it breaks my email client.
now that only applies to Microsoft.com email, not to the desktop, Outlook desktop. So obviously, it's when you go to the web to get your mail from Outlook.com, you will need this. That's what the article said. That
You
it's
will need what?
you will need the new Outlook, or I mean, you will need the new application to go get it from there. Application
Y-
that
So
supports the modern authentication. I'm sorry,
so
I should have saved it. And
New Outlook is the same desktop Outlook that that was shipped with Office and all that, and is part of Office 365 and all that. But its interface has completely been revamped, and basically it matches one to one the web interface
okay,
of
Good.
Outlook.com. Yeah. So if you have any version of Office 365 or Office 2019 or whatever, then you have a switch that says switch interface to new Outlook. And that's the new interface for Outlook. And it means that working on the desktop application and working in the web feels very, very, very similar. Okay. Like the differences are minute because there'll be stuff like opening additional windows. That'll be very easy to do on the desktop one, probably compared to the one on the web. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. So I think that's what the notice is about. Is about this because there are going to be these new login requirements, right? Make sure you update your Outlook and start using the new Outlook interface, because that is the only one that's going to support these new prompts and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, they're not updating the older ones.
Yep.
Well, this is something that hits more at home for a lot of do-it-yourselfers. The FTC has issued a warning to several tech firms, including PC manufacturers ASRock, Gigabyte, and Zotac, regarding potential violation of the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act. The agency expressed concerns that the company's warranty and repair policies may be infringing on consumer rights. While the specific concerns vary by company, the FTC reminded the three companies that they can't, for example, place stickers on a laptop that caution consumers that opening or repairing the laptop violates warranty policies. Neither can they state or imply that their products can only be repaired via an authorized service from the company. So, in a letter sent to Gigabyte, the FTC said that its staff is concerned by the Gigabyte written warranty, which includes the phrase, if the manufacturing sticker inside the product was removed or damaged, it would no longer be covered by the warranty. And a lot of those companies that sell laptops, they have a sticker somewhere that you can't open the back without tearing it.
Warranty void if removed.
Yep. So that is interesting. That's
What's the name of the Warranty Act?
Magnuson
um
Moss. If you haven't watched YouTube videos on Magnuson Moss yet, you really should. There's a
Yeah.
couple of lawyers that have done some really in-depth videos. It is game changing for it is game changing.
it's Magnuson, Magnuson dash Moss, MOSS.
Already found it on
Okay.
DuckDuckGo. We'll look at it
Yeah.
on Wikipedia later.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. Nick,
And it's a 1975 act. It's not something new. Interesting.
No, but the way that it's either something that has happened with interpretation or something that there's been the right to repair. That's probably the phrase
Yeah.
that people are the most familiar with. That's been on the move over the last couple of years. And there's been some big changes, and now a lot of stuff is going back to this Magnuson Moss decision. And it's predominantly with tech companies. It's Gigabyte and Asus and ASRock, these tech giants that are having they're they're not handling their warranties properly,
Right.
and it's become a big issue.
Yep.
It's always been an issue, but it's now becoming. Before they could just kind of blow it off and be like, yeah, whatever. Like we're gonna screw you. There's really nothing that you can do about it. Call the what's the consumer bureau?
Better Business.
You call Better
This-
Business Bureau, give us a crappy review. Like we don't really care. Now that's changing
Mhm.
big time.
Good. That's good. Nick, you let me know when you're ready. I mean,
With,
all right.
with specials?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got them. Yeah, they should be up there. Hopefully.
They're not. I've got 6 too.
Can you clear your cat? Can you refresh?
Yep. There it is.
No, the cache only refreshes at 10 p.m. That's why.
That's a good point.
um. Okay.
So as we revamp the show and kind of do some stuff from time to time, not going to be every week. We'll throw just a couple quick things in here. We were talking about AirTags before the show or during the show, and I already had these in here. This is over at Best Buy. You can get 4 AirTags for $80, so they're $20 a piece instead of $25 a piece, both in store and online. So check that out over at Best Buy. There's one of these big power banks. I don't know the brand INIU, but it's a 25,000 milliamp power bank and it does 65 watts worth of power delivery, meaning that you could charge a laptop with this
Mhm.
or
Well,
um
check if your laptop, even if it do takes power delivery, check that 65 watt is enough, right? Because there are those who require more.
sure. For
Yeah.
most consumer laptops, 65-watt PD is pretty typical. So that Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, things that draw a lot of USB-C power to charge. This is normally $67. It's on sale for $32. Make sure you click the link in the specials. And then, God, I don't know if you saw this, but Zeus is running their Smarter Home is running their 4th of July super sale. So a lot of the Z-Wave products that we've talked about, hubs, switches, all of those things, a lot of that stuff is on sale, and that runs through the 9th. So that's Tuesday. So if you're looking to get some deals, the smartesthouse.com is the website, and they've got a lot of their devices and products on sale. So maybe check those out.
And those are great because mainly because of their customer support. Like if you need something, they are responsive, they are knowledgeable,
They're
and
helpful, very
very, very
helpful.
helpful. Very helpful.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, anybody uses Twilio?
The phone gateway.
Yeah, Twilio, a major U.S. messaging company, has confirmed that unauthorized actors had identified phone numbers associated with users of its Authy two-factor authentication app. The disclosure comes after a hacker claimed last week to have obtained 33 million phone numbers from Twilio. A Twilio spokesperson told TechCrunch that the company had detected an unauthenticated endpoint following access to Authy account data, including phone numbers. They fixed it, but 33 million phone numbers went out, got out.
Well, that
Uh,
explains
it's what?
the barrage of spamming that
Well,
I'm
it's
getting
possible.
lately. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's amazing. Well, I didn't think about that. It's unbelievable what kind of spam level is in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Unfreaking believable. And talk about hacking. Microsoft revealed that the Russian hacker who breached its systems earlier this year stole more emails than initially reported. That's the one where a lot of government people, a lot of emails for government employees were stolen. We are continuing notifications to customers who corresponded with Microsoft corporate email accounts that were exfiltrated by the Midnight Blizzard threat actor. And we are providing the customers the email correspondence that was accessed by this actor, said the Microsoft spokesperson. This is increased detail for customers who have already been notified and also includes new notifications. So it was worse than what they thought. When did they find out? I don't know. They may have known it back then, but didn't do anything about it. I don't know.
What did they call him? Midnight what?
Um Midnight Blizzard. Yeah.
Dramatic
That
name.
was the guy's name.
Well,
That's
that's the
the-
group. That's the group. I mean, it's
Pretty
Yeah.
cool name.
Yeah. It's like a TV villain.
oh. Now, this is interesting for people who are into AI. A new study suggests that at least 10% of scientific abstracts in 2024 were processed using large language models. Researchers from the University of Tübingen and Northwestern University report, analyzing 14 million PubMed abstracts from 2010 to 2024. The team identified an unprecedented surge in certain style words following LLM's widespread adoption in late 2022.
What's
So if
PubMed?
you words like delves and showcasing, so a 25-fold and 9-fold increase respectively in 2024 abstracts compared to pre-LLM trends. Common terms such as potential and findings also spiked in usage. The researchers drew parallels to studies measuring COVID-19's impact through excess deaths, applying a similar methodology to detect excess word usage in scientific writing. So if you're going to cheat and you're going to use AI to write a paper, go in and change some of the unique words that you don't really use in everyday talk.
Yeah.
Delves, I mean, the only time you, who uses that word in everyday talk? I don't know.
That's one of those things where you can generally tell if something's AI or not if you know the person that's saying it or writing it, because it's like, you don't talk like this. What?
Raise your microphone up a little.
Oh, can you not hear me?
Oh, you can't. It's loose.
How about now? Can you hear me
No,
now?
it's yeah. It's
Okay.
just
I
yeah.
just got tilted back. But yeah, if somebody is iffy on the scholarly spectrum, and then they all of a sudden release an article that makes them sound like they're from Oxford,
Yeah,
it's probably AI.
yeah. So the bottom
That
line is
or unpaid professors, right?
Yeah, ghostwriters.
Unemployed professors.
unemployed
yeah.
professors. Oh.
Yeah.
And talk about AI. YouTube has released an AI-powered eraser tool to help creators easily remove copyrighted music from their videos without affecting other audio such as dialogue or sound effects.
That is a good thing.
Yeah.
Finally, you can at least scrub your videos before
Yep.
it's going to be just blocked.
Yep. On its
Finally.
support page, YouTube still warns that at times the algorithm might fail to remove just the song.
Yeah.
This edit might not work if the song is hard to remove. If this tool doesn't successfully remove the claim on the video, you can try other editing options, such as muting all sound in the claim segment or trimming out the claim segments. But I guess
But it
may
also says, hold on, it also says that YouTube is flagging specific claim segments. Something before that, it would just scrub the audio from the entire video.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now its online tool is going to address specific segment, telling you in this segment you have a problem.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I had quite a few videos taken off of YouTube in the last month. All of them are from pre-COVID and the beginning of COVID.
Okay.
I don't know. They finally they have something that goes through all the videos, and they said no, this is you can't. This is wrong medical advice. They all have to do with the homeopathy show that they were
Can't you
people
just
talk.
add a disclaimer
eh,
saying this is not medical advice?
right. It's
No, there's not an option of you to just adding a disclaimer saying this is not medical advice.
no, no. I mean, come on. These are the you mean at a notice in the not in the video, but on the
Yeah,
in the
on the
channel.
title or something.
Not that I know of, but it's fine. I learned what to do. You let them take it out. You say thank you, and you go and you change the link to play the video and from the Internet Archive versus from YouTube, and then people that come to Nissan Communications can still listen to it. But it's just interesting that after all these years they now doing it. And it's automatic.
For sure, yeah.
So. Um, Now, who's using uh, Fire TV? I know Sarid does.
Yeah, I'm using it as well.
Amazon has introduced new advertising strategies for its Fire TV platform, displaying full screen ads before screensavers activate on idle devices. Cord cutters report that. Users have observed ads from various brands during these pre screensaver intervals. So I guess if I don't use it, I used to use it years ago. But I guess if you're watching something and you pause it, after a while it will.
I'm concerned about something else. Is okay, so you're on the menu, right? Just the menu,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
pausing anything. Now it switches to screensaver,
yeah.
right? If your volume isn't muted, right, then suddenly there's a jolt. Somebody's because the
Wow,
ad is
yeah,
just
that's
gonna
true too.
out of complete silence, it's just gonna start speaking.
Yeah,
Unless if you're on the menu, it starts muted, fine, whatever,
I don't know.
right?
I don't know, but yeah, they. It's all a way to make money, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I don't care too much about ads. I don't like them interfering with my flow, right? But
right.
if I'm not doing anything and an ad pops up, if it's not going to affect the way I uh, because the alternative is I'm never going to leave it at the menu. I'm just going to shut down the TV, right? And they cannot do anything about it. So
Oh, yeah. And also with Amazon Kindle e-reader system, this is from last week, from Friday, I believe, is experiencing a widespread outage, affecting new book downloads and access to downloaded titles in users' libraries. The issue, confirmed by Amazon's support, is expected to last at least 48 hours. So if you had problems, I don't know if they fixed it. We don't have a
But you said that's for Kindle?
Kindle.
Huh. I use my Kindle every day and I didn't have any problems.
Really?
well, when did you download the new content?
I
It's just about
download a new content every other day.
Okay.
I've burned through books. You know what I did notice though is that when I tried to close or go back, so like you for the Kindle app, um it has the book there and you can go back to the home screen to select a different book to read. I noticed that when I tried to go back, the Kindle would freeze. And then I just would close it and open it again and it would be fine.
I don't know. They said that they confirmed that they had a problem.
Huh. I don't know. Yeah,
well,
I
it
have
says some users, right? So
yeah,
obviously not affecting everyone.
I I subscribe to Kindle
Wait a
Unlimited.
second. I may have read it wrong because it said affecting new book downloads and access to undownloaded titles in users' libraries, not downloaded titles.
Oh,
Undownloaded
Yeah.
titles in
That's
users'
that's
library.
why I said. That's why I asked you if you were downloading anything in the last couple of days.
well, it automatically downloads it so I can read it offline. So I don't change the way it automatically sets it up.
Okay.
So I think
Yeah, so
by
it was
default it
probably
downloads
already
it.
down. So
Interesting.
it was probably already downloaded. Yeah.
But I burn through. I'm reading a new book like every 2 days or 3 days. So I'm pretty active.
Between 3D printing and reading books, when do you have time to breathe? Never
I
mind.
don't.
Well, 3D printing is like 15 hours something is printing, right?
Yeah, but here
Fine.
that's a misconception though, because yes, 3D printing is hands off. Fulfilling orders
Yeah,
is that's the
definitely.
hard part because I have to take all the 3D prints and I have to package them. I have to get the
Mhm.
orders. I mean, I spend probably 4 hours a day sorting through and organizing orders and ordering more boxes and
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
because you
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
have what 15?
yeah. Hey, don't tempt me. If I had the space, I'd get more. Um So yeah, I do read. The time I read is right before bed. So I go and I lay down at like 8 o'clock, and I'll read for a couple hours
Nice.
and then go to sleep.
Nice. Yeah. It's fine. And it's a fresh mind. So
Yeah, but the
a
books I'm
new
reading aren't super complicated either. So sorry, go
a
ahead.
new test version of Windows 11 is available for Windows insiders on the Dev channel, which rolls out a significant change. A new Windows Start menu.
Uh oh.
You'll immediately notice that Microsoft has redesigned the Microsoft user account display, moving it to the center of the Start menu as soon as you click on the username or profile picture. This new account manager feature gives you quicker access to your various Microsoft accounts, such as Microsoft 365, Xbox Game Pass, and OneDrive cloud storage. To no surprise, Microsoft is using this prominent display to remind you of their own products and services.
We don't like change. No
I
more
am
change.
I am so glad that I have not been using the start menu for the past, well, ever since I installed Windows 11, right? The one thing that was bugging me with Windows 11 was the fact that I cannot move the taskbar to
Yeah,
the sides, right? We talked about it.
yeah,
Our screens today are wider than they are taller,
right.
and I want my taskbar to be on the side. And so um, it took a couple of months, but then I bought uh, I don't know, $3-4 application called Start All something. The
Hmm.
name in a sec. And since then, it took care of taking it to the side. It also comes with a replacement to the start menu because you can keep using the Windows start menu, but that will still come up from the bottom, and so visually it's very distracting, right? Because it's not where you're expecting it. So it also has like its alternative start menu, which I've enabled, not because I like it, I don't use it. It's just so if something does come up, it will come up in the right location. I am using, in order to launch things, I am using Microsoft's own power tools called Power Toys, called Power Toy Run or Power Run or whatever. And that is fantastic because it brings you like with a search bar sort of like interface. There used to be a lot of these launchers being developed in open source and stuff. PowerToys is an open source solution from Microsoft and includes that run. It also has plugins. So that's what I do to launch stuff, like anything. And it works seamlessly, visually, very minimal. Only displays the data that you want. It has replaced my start menu completely. So yeah, I agree. Forcing change on your users without them ever asking for that specific change, bad move, as always.
Always.
Everybody's going to live through it, and it'll annoy them for a bit, and it'll be a big issue. I am one thing though of interest is it is focused around their accounts, not around their AI.
Right.
It seems like they have gotten off their AI horse, understanding that they're driving it too hard in the wrong direction. So that's a good thing.
Well, if it's a good thing, we'll find out. Um, who's got a Wii?
Like a Nintendo Wii?
Yeah.
I still have a Wii,
Yeah.
not the Wii U though, the one.
Yeah, the Wii
original.
U.
Wait, they discontinued those like forever ago.
Well, they
I've got
say
a Wii U.
What?
But I have a Wii U. It's been sitting in the closet since I've lived in North Carolina. It's never been set up.
So Nintendo has announced the end of repair services for its Wii U console, following the earlier decision to shut down all Wii U servers. Nintendo cited the expiration of the part rotation period as the reason for discontinuing repairs. So that's it. Now you can, even if somebody's using it, and I never had one, so I don't know. But even if you use it and you need
If
it
something will break, you'll still find somebody
that
will
has it,
fix
yeah,
it for you, but it's not Nintendo.
yeah, and you can always ask Katie to print a 3D
Yeah,
part for
I
it.
got you.
Yeah.
No. Katie's too
No.
busy. She doesn't have time for us.
Yeah. I'm here.
Roku. Roku's recent update has sparked controversy among TV owners, particularly those with TCL and Hisense models. The update, version 13.0.0, released on June 6th, introduced a feature called Roku Smart Picture that has led to numerous complaints about unwanted motion smoothing effects. While Roku doesn't explicitly mention motion smoothing or what Roku calls action smoothing, the update has made it so that many with Roku TVs see motion smoothing, regardless of whether the picture setting is Roku Smart Picture or not. Now, Gal, you take over. What is motion smoothing? Do you know? Any idea?
It's digital processing of the image of video, basically of incoming video, right? And it's supposed to improve way the picture looks like,
according to them.
Well, according to whoever develops these algorithms, right?
Okay.
And if the image quality that to start with is very, very low, right, then it might actually help. The problem starts is when the image quality is high. It creates artifacts that are substantially visible.
That they are worse than the original.
Yeah, and
to watch
so
it. Yeah.
it was designed in order to appease, to make watching sports, for example, right, easier on the eye, especially in high definition. But it always backfires. It always backfires on, and it usually highlights a deficiency in whatever, I don't know, the ingestion capability of the chips or whatever, and so the result is always unpleasant if you notice it. Most people do not notice it. So those who are complaining, right, are those who are looking for it and are annoyed by it.
Well, so yeah, people are pissed. Um, HNA, Hikari no Akari, a long established and popular pirate site that specializes in Japanese music, is being targeted in U.S. federal courts by Sony Music. The music download portal, which links to externally hosted files, has been operating for well over a decade and currently draws more than 1 million monthly visits. In addition to the public facing part of the site, HNA also has a private forum and Discord channel. Apparently, Sony Music Japan has been keeping an eye on the unauthorized music portal. The company has many of its works shared on the site, including anime theme music, which is popular around the globe. They slowly, the long arms of the law are reaching and closing one, slowly another site and another site and another site. There was also a story about some site that has anime uh, videos closed on its own. I can't remember the name of it, but they were trying to close it and they couldn't. They did, and they would crop up right away, and did, and crop up, but they finally closed it. So this is it's something that is it's a whack-a-mole. There's no,
Yeah.
nothing you can do about that. All right. There are a couple more stories, but we're getting to the end of the show here now. Anybody wants to bring up anything else that they want to talk about?
Yeah, I had a weird experience this week on Plex. So there's a show that I have a copy of, I own, and it's in my Plex library. Um, and I wanted to continue watching. It's a 4-part series.
Mm-hmm.
And I clicked on it in the continue watching tab, and I got an ad. I got a 35 or 40-second pre-roll ad on it from Plex. And I'm like, well, that's really bizarre.
Were you
So
logged in?
I
Yeah,
was
you
logged.
were logged in.
So and then I Googled the issue to try and figure out what was going on. Like, why is Plex inserting ads? And from what I was reading, and this is the first time it's ever happened, or maybe it's the first time that I've had a show that is also available. Gal, I think what's happening is if you have a show on your library that is also available to stream free via Plex's own internal service, their free view or whatever the hell their streaming thing is called, it is showing, it was automatically playing the free version of the show through Plex versus the copy that I had on my media server. So I went into TV shows, found the series in there, clicked on it, and it played fine without an ad. Very
Interesting. That
odd.
So
has never happened to me. What did happen to me, where I would search for it, and in the search results, it will show me that as an option. And if I click that instead of the one on my server, definitely. But you're saying you paused it, then you went back to watch it.
So when I watched it the first time, I clicked on the home screen. It shows you continue watching.
Yeah.
I had finished the first episode and I was getting ready to watch episode 2. So it said, resume watching.
and the
Fine.
first episode that you were watching was from your TV shows, not from Plex.
I don't. Yes, because it wasn't under continue
Okay,
watching. Absolutely.
keep going. Okay.
And so then I saw that, and as I look at and then I went into the show to look at the details, and it is one of the free on-demand Plex shows. So it, I guess, defaulted to the free version with
Interesting.
ads versus the owned version, which obviously does not have ads in it. thought that was interesting. I've never had that happen before. I don't know if any of my other stuff is also available free. It's got to be. I have a lot of older media stuff from the 80s and 90s that I assume is free on some of these services. But I thought that was an interesting thing. Never experienced
That
that
can be an
before.
annoying thing. I agree.
Very much so.
I haven't encountered that. Keep an eye on it. We're using Plex a lot, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I
definitely
didn't
know.
either.
So yeah, kind of a my first Google search was, why the hell is Plex showing me an ad on content? Not only is it Plex free, I have the paid subscription, the Plex Pass. Why are they showing me? And my girlfriend goes, "Oh, well, they must be installing ads on this now." And I was like, "Well, I can guarantee that sure as hell ain't gonna happen because I will be dumping Plex for the MB or something if that was the case." But yeah, very, very weird. Very weird experience.
Speaking of Plex, uh, I don't know if you've ever seen ads, usually in social media, saying there's a lawsuit against Plex, and they're looking uh, for Plex users to join the lawsuit. There's a potential win of X amounts of dollars, obviously in the thousands, to lure people to register for the lawsuit. And after a friend of mine mentioned, I've seen these before. Usually I ignore, but after a friend of mine asked me about it, and I took a deeper look, and it's very interesting what's going on. So one, yes, there is a lawsuit. Two, nothing in these advertisements has anything to do with that lawsuit.
Hmm.
So um, the ads are basically most of the ads you see, especially if they're on any of the meta-based ad campaigns, Instagram, Facebook, all of those, seems like there's no vetting there at all. So while there is a lawsuit, and I was able to find a lawsuit and find where it's being, in which court it's being pursued, and who the lawyer is, and all that. Uh, that part I had to really, really find in government associated sites, local government associated sites, and separate, etc. The websites collecting the information are using some sort of a real attorney's name, which I think that attorney has zero to do with that. The attorney
Hmm.
I found was actually one who sold his practice about 10 years ago, and for bankruptcy or something, right? Like literally does not own that name anymore. Um, and people are just providing personal information, and it usually starts with just give me a name and address, and are you using the software? And then you get like an email a day later or something like that, said, we're going to need more information, please provide your employment information and how much do you make and stuff. This is all data
It's a scam.
harvesting in order. Yeah, this is all a data harvesting scam in order to send you more spam, in order to target you um, with offers. So be wary. If somebody is offering something, right, of value, looks like an exorbitant amount of value, right? Too true to be true on an ad, right? Assume it is a scam. If you're unsure, hey, uh, hit us up on the next show and give us some details from the ad
Yeah.
if you have a screenshot or something like that. I'll be happy to take a look at this and show you how this is a scam, right? Uh, there's always the most interesting thing is it's based on truth, right? So if you do search, you might find something in some article somewhere that there is a lawsuit, right? And that is part of the trick. It's you can find some truth in the ad that the ad points to, and that is supposed to appease your curiosity, right? Enough for you to, hey, maybe I can provide my info and get some bucks. It's not that simple. Always do some due diligence, and maybe we can do this as a challenge of how this due diligence looks like. It's not just a Google search. There's a
Mhm.
bit more to it, right? What to look for, what to verify, and how. So I think sharing that with people is important.
Very important.
Yeah.
And people will definitely fall for it because you're paying so much to use PLEX. I mean, it's a fortune. So if you can get something back, oh boy.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the ad said you can get up to $7,400.
Yeah.
Wow.
Specific. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So anybody would want. I'd like some $7,400.
Yeah, sure.
But
And I'll pay for all the
thankfully,
media that
Amnon
I-
sends that to us weekly, so it's okay.
I could
It
buy
would-
so many more printers.
It would help me recoup all the costs for all the totally legitimate media I have on Plex. That stuff costs a fortune. So
Yeah.
that would be that'd be huge.
Look, hard drives are expensive.
Yeah, that's a whole nother problem.
All right. Anything else?
Nada.
Katie?
Nope.
Gal?
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope. Okay. Well, I hope everybody likes the new format.
I
Gives
do
us-
because I got some stuff
Yeah.
that gets my Sunday back.
I'm finding
Yeah.
out that, oh boy, there's a lot of stuff I can do.
I know.
I am going to be on the next couple of Sundays, but I'm not going to be on the last one. And we're going to be in GalaxyCon.
Yeah, I'm not
So-
gonna be.
So the last Sunday of the week of the
July.
month. of
Mhm.
July,
Where is it?
we're going to be at? It's in
Yeah.
Raleigh.
Oh,
Probably. Yeah. If anybody's in the triangle, I'm going to be at GalaxyCon selling my wares.
Nice.
all right. So again, thanks, Nick. Thanks, Katie. Uh-oh. Thanks, Gal. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Donna, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov, and Yael. Thank you, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. And don't forget to change any same passwords where you use them. Also, the 1 2 3 3 2 1 backup scheme. Implement backups. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, and you can always reach us at computers2kina.com. Again, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Nick is on Wilmington's 980 The Wave and 107.9 FM with his daily commentary political show. You can tell your Echo device to play 980 The Wave and listen to it live, or you can go later on to nickcraig.com and download the podcast. And Nick and Brian also do the Infection Podcast every week on Twitch. Just go to infectionpodcast.com and find out when is the live one going to be that week. Or again, you can go there later on and get the recording. We'll see you next week. Have a great one.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.